All right, well, I guess I will kick it off. Um, we were gonna do have a little bit of time for everybody to introduce themselves. It kind of looks like it's mostly JTO and OP. If you guys want to go through and just say hi, um, maybe give your name, your major, and something you want to get out of this discussion. You don't have to go if you don't want to, but if you want to introduce yourself, um, I'll start with me because I'm talking already. Hi, I'm Elizabeth. I am a sustainable systems engineer major, and um, yeah, I would just like to you know, get some other opinions on this subject. I'd like to hear what other people have to say and what they've had experienced. All right, whoever's next can take it, or whoever wants to go next, I should say.
I'm Eric Perez. I'm the president of Journey to Our Heritage. And like you said, I just want to get other people's opinion on this topic because it's very interesting to me. And then whoever wants to go can go.
Here, I'll jump in. I'm Orlando Moreno. I'm a film and media studies minor and a video production major. And just like you guys, I just want to hear the opinions and get an insight. And I'll pass it to Sean.
Okay then, hi. My name is Sean Easton. I am a CAS and marketing major, and but and I am also interested on hearing what everyone else thinks on this matter. I will pass it over to Elva.
All right, thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Elba Parga. I'm majoring in mechanical engineering technology, and like a lot of you guys are saying, I'm very interested on just to see where this conversation leads as a group, see everybody's perspective and all that. So, looking forward to that. And I will pass it on to Isela.
Hi everyone, my name is Isela. I am with the JTOH team, and I'm a freshman at MSU Denver, majoring in nursing. And much like everyone else has said, just want to hear everyone's thoughts today, and pretty excited to be here. Let's do Isaiah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Isaiah Flores, and I am a second-year student at MSU Denver. I study political science, and I am also just looking forward to kind of hear where this conversation goes. As a youth, I loved the outdoors, and it was something that I think everyone should have access to. So, yeah, thank you. And then I can popcorn it over to Alexa.
Hi, my name is Alexa Montoya. I am a sophomore at MSU Denver, and I am majoring in speech language and hearing science. But yeah, I'm here to everyone's opinion and be educated and learn new things. But I will popcorn to Jackie.
Hi everyone, my name is Jackie. My major is in speech language and hearing sciences, and I'm a junior at MSU Denver. Basically, like everybody else, I'm just interested to see what's going to be going on in this conversation. I'll go ahead and pass it to Non.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nung. I'm a grad student in the Masters of Social Work program. And yeah, similar to everyone else, I'm just interested to hear about different opinions and perspectives on this issue. And I'll popcorn to Christina.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. My name is Christina, and I'm with Journey to Our Heritage as well. My major is Human Development and Family Studies with a minor in Special Education, and I, like everyone else, I'm here to get other people's perspectives and experiences. So thanks. And I think that's everyone from the Journey team, so I'll leave it up to whoever wants to go next.
I'll introduce myself. Hi, everyone. I'm Diane. I'm the director of campus recreation. I'm glad Brian and Liza put these series on, and thank you, Jato, for being a part of this one and hosting it or co-hosting. Um, I'm from New Jersey originally, where there's a lot of bugs and a lot of humidity, and that has prevented me from wanting to go outside. And I moved to Colorado almost 4 years ago, and I know there's less bugs and less humidity, but I have yet to like venture out into the wilderness. I have snowboarded quite a bit, and I've hung out in parks to play volleyball and spike ball, but in terms of like the technical being in the outdoors, I've yet to really venture into that um, realm, and I think in part it's because my history in New Jersey. So I'm really excited to learn about other people's concerns about getting involved. Maybe it's money, maybe it's technical experience, but interested to see everyone else's hesitations. Thanks.
My name's Dave Lamont, Assistant Director of Sports with Campus Recreation. But before this position, I was helping Brian run the Outdoor Pursuits program. I think Eric, I recognize you down there from our Pathfinder backpacking trip a few years ago. So that was pretty great. I'm just here to see what y'all want to talk about, what to discuss, and how we can make the outdoors even more welcoming for everybody. Hopefully figure out some strategies, identify maybe some potential barriers, and talk about those and how we can get more people onto the trails, into our parks, and out of doors, as they say.
I'll jump in real quick. I echo all of those sentiments, and I'm really, keen on learning more about how to make the outdoors more accessible. It's just been such a integral part of my life and my success. And if it's good for me, it's good for others. I'm sure of that. And I do know about the barriers to participation in the outdoors, and interested in learning more and how to help to reduce those.
My name is Corey Velasquez. I am the main admin for the Computer Sciences Department at MSU Denver, and I love getting outdoors as well, so loving to hear what everybody has to say. Thank you.
All right, I think that's, well, Jordan hasn't gone, but that's okay. If Jordan, if you want to go, you're more than welcome.
No, I tried jumping on twice, and I was like, yeah, that's okay. I just, I don't think I need to go. But anyways, yeah, I'll go. My name is Jordan. I work in campus recreation also for facility operations and marketing. I'm a big fan of the outdoors. That's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to come out to Colorado. I love going on hikes, trails, and doing things like that, and seeing new things, experiencing new things. And so I'm always trying to participate in things like these to learn. So interesting to hear what everybody has to say, maybe learn a couple things on some new trails, recommendations, and things like that, and give my input.
All right. Well, thank you guys. And thanks everybody for having us. Thank you, Jato, for co-hosting with us. This is exciting, and we've been trying to get this, topic going for a while. So it's really great to finally be getting it going. So yeah, today we're going to talk about making the outdoors more welcoming and more accessible. While there's plenty of reasons why someone may or may not feel like they're welcome in the outdoors, and they may or may not feel like they have access to it. We kind of wanted to talk about personal experiences and how everybody in this group feels. So Eric and I have designed some questions, made some questions to kind of get you guys talking and to kind of poke and prod into, I don't want to say poke and prod, but to get you guys talking about your personal experiences in the outdoors and your feelings about it and, perspectives. So yeah, for the next, 30, 40 minutes or so, I think we're going to kind of throw out some of those questions and let you guys answer and give you guys the chance to talk about it. And Eric, if you want to start with the first couple of questions, you can, or if you want me to do that, let me know.
Oh no, I can start with the first couple of questions because they're, like we discussed yesterday, they're pretty easy. So the first question I have for you guys, and just raise your hand if you have been, or if you can. Have you guys, or can you guys name a national park that you've been to, let's say in the last 2 years?
I can go. So one that I've been to has been the Rocky Mountain National Park. It was really pretty.
Thank you, Jackie. And would you like to call on someone who has their hand raised?
Who has their hand raised? Hold on. I can't really see anyone. Oh, okay, Elizabeth.
Yeah, it looks like it's a few of us, but it's the same thing. Rocky Mountain National Park for me, and that might be the only one I've been to in Colorado. Yeah, looks like I don't know. It looks like nobody else has their.
Oh, Flores, what park have you been to? And I see Sean and Flores. What parks have you been to?
I think my favorite one that I've ever been to was the Tongass National Forest up in Alaska. That's my favorite. It's not a park, but it's a forest. But and then Sean or
And then
Alba?
Alba can go after Sean.
Wait, after Sean or?
You can just go now, Alba.
Okay. I've also been to Rocky Mountain National Forest a lot with my family. I think maybe others, but I don't really know their names. But yeah.
I've been up to Yellowstone and and that would be my favorite national park.
Thank you, everybody that answered. So we're gonna move on to the next question. So just give about like a 2-minute response maximum. So what is your view on the outdoors? And anybody that wants to go can go, and then just call on the next person. And how to see if the hands are raised is just click on participants. So whoever wants to go can go, and just give your view on the outdoors.
Oh man, I'll start. Just to get it rolling. Yeah, I do love being outside. But I have a few things that intimidate me about being outside. So it's kind of it's a trade-off of for someone who is outside a decent amount, I wouldn't say I'm overly comfortable being out in the wilderness and out hiking. And I think maybe Orlando next.
Yep. So for me personally, I used to live in Jersey, and I would always hike around, and there was like a mini mountain. It was like a part on the side of like the mountain. It was called Point Mountain, and you could basically see the whole my whole little town from there. So for me, going out and going hiking is always like a great way to connect with the earth. It's a great way to de-stress as well. It's a natural high, and yeah, I always love nature. And I'll pass it over to Sean.
But so I love I love nature too. And I would say that I'm pretty comfortable like in the woods, assuming that it's not like night, because of course at night, yeah. But like but most of that comes from my personal experience. So I definitely understand. But how someone who how someone who didn't have like the same experiences, but would view the outdoors, hiking, camping, fishing, rock climbing, very differently. So, and if anyone else would like to go, feel free. Ooh, Isaiah.
I also, like a lot of you have said, like I really love the outdoors. I haven't been, oh man, I haven't seen the outdoors in ages. But when I did, I really loved them. Like I wanted to do like some Chris McCandless type stuff, like minus the whole like eating the wrong berries type thing. But like it's just been a long time, and I'm definitely like excited this summer to like just get out and do some more stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, so for this next one, we're gonna have everybody go, and we can just popcorn. So, describe the outdoors for you in 5 words, and I'll start. I'll say peaceful, beautiful, nirvana, happiness, and love. And then I'll popcorn to Flores.
Alrighty. Let's see. Let me think about it. So I definitely want to say peaceful. I'll agree. Yeah. So I'll go off what you're saying. Peaceful. But then there's also a lot of chaos. So I'm gonna say peace, chaos, tranquility, oneness, and and refreshing. There you go. And popcorn over to Jackie.
So I would probably say it's quiet, peaceful, it's fun, it's pretty, and it's relaxing. I'll pick Alexa.
I would say peaceful, beautiful, I guess. It's hard to come up with new words, but grounding maybe. Fresh, and then I think I have one more word. I don't know, calming, I guess. I don't know if I said that already, but I'll popcorn to Isela.
Okay, so I'll go with majestic, peaceful, liberating, calming, and beautiful. Popcorn, Orlando.
Sweet, thank you. I'll pick euphoric, therapeutic, mysterious, miraculous, and also very scary. Oh, and I'll popcorn it over to Tala.
Hello, guys. Just 1 second. I'll say calm, meditation, peace, and I think that's it. And I'll give it to Jackie.
Jackie already went.
Did Non went?
No, I haven't. I would describe nature as amazing, beautiful, relaxing, peaceful, and refreshing. And I'll popcorn to Sean.
Okay, so I got mosquitoes, cold, challenging, um, um, but like dangerous and fun. Okay, so I guess as we are doing popcorns, popcorn to Miss Elizabeth.
Thank you, Sean. I would go with unforgiving, escape, traditional in a lot of senses, but traditional, survival, and beautiful, I think. And I think with popcorn, Elva, have you gone yet? All right.
Thank you. So 5 words would be healthy, calming, beautiful, peaceful, and endangered, unfortunately. And I will popcorn it to, let's go with Corey Velasquez.
Thank you. Refreshing, inspiring, exhilarating, enlightening, and energizing. Sorry, Diane?
I love that you wrote a list. I wrote one too. Massive, alluring, intimidating, rewarding, and eye-opening. Did all the students go? I think so, right? So I'm gonna go with Jordan.
So I'll go with a slightly different route with the 5 words. I'm going to put, it will change your life. So I guess that's a little bit different, but I use it more of a sentence way, but yeah. Dave, have you got?
No, that was beautiful. I like that. Thinking outside the box.
Yeah, I was gonna kind of go with Jordan, but it's only 4 words. It is my church. So then it encompasses like everything y'all say, right? I mean, it's grounding, it's energizing, it's revigorating, it's peaceful, it's majestic, all that. But it's where I go to reconnect. It is my church.
I think Brian's last.
Awesome, thank you. I will join in too. I actually had a sentence as well, and it is invitation to join the challenge. I'll just elaborate real quick. I always see the outdoors as a challenge, a mountain as a challenge, a cliff, a stream, a river. There's always just sort of this instant challenge that's always presented. That's way more than 5 words, but anyway, yeah. So
I think everybody. Oh, Dr. Renee, you haven't gone. Do you want to go?
Is there anybody else that hasn't gone? Because I want to make sure everybody gets included.
I think you're muted, Dr. Renee.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just going to say, I used to spend a lot of time in the outdoors and mountain biking and camping and fishing. And then I didn't do much for about 10 years until I came to campus 11 years ago and Journey started doing things. And I guess that for me, it's like I look at it with like awe and longing because I feel like I don't spend enough time doing things outdoors, nor do I make enough of an effort. So the times that we spend in the outdoors is mostly now when we do things with outdoor pursuits and campus rec, which makes me kind of feel bad. But I love the outdoors. I just wish that I was more motivated to go outside of my comfort zone and do it outside of work instead of just when we're like doing it at work. So go and you're looking
I can
at
go. I haven't gone yet.
Okay.
I wrote a list. But tranquility, definitely, even though I know that a few of us have already said that, but that's my number one, tranquility. Fresh, calming, admirable, and a gift.
Thank you, Christina. Has everybody gone? I feel like that's everybody, but I don't want to miss anyone. Okay, I'm gonna hope that we're good. If we're not, please interrupt me. Okay, so I guess the next question we're gonna move to talking about kind of open spaces, which is something Eric and I realized that maybe aren't as well known about as like national parks and state parks and stuff like that. So we just wanted to see if anybody kind of raise your hand if you can name an open space park, and if you've at least heard of open space parks.
I don't know if it counts, but El Dorado State Park here in Colorado. My family and I love going there.
I actually feel terrible. I don't know that one, but yeah, I think that counts.
It's great. I definitely recommend it.
What was the name?
El Dorado.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, yeah. I think that can count for this for sure.
I can't figure out how to raise my hand. How do you do that?
So you go to reactions, and then you can click raise or lower your hand.
Under reactions?
So those little icons at the bottom, there's 5 of them. You might have to full screen your page because sometimes the reaction ones don't come up when you're half screened. I don't know why.
Hi, Diane. Nice to see you. I'm like blowing my nose a lot. I'm sorry. I turned off my camera. Okay, I'm raising my hand. I just don't know how.
That's okay. I think there have been a few technical issues. Well, if looks like we've got Eric, Isaiah, Sean, and Dr. Renee all raising their hands. If you guys want to, I guess we could. I don't know, Eric, do you want to do a talk about open space parks and like how
Yeah, sure.
experiences with them?
So I didn't know about open space park till Dr. Renee and her husband Glenn took us to Chokecherry Pick, and then that's when I learned about the Jefferson County open space, and then I looked it up different ones for myself because it was really cool. Because like it was just like an open space. There was like a river that we walked up, and at the end of the river there was a really like cool waterfall. So I thought that was cool because like usually you have to go up in the mountains to see stuff like that. And then also what was really cool about it is we seen I don't know if it was a cougar or a bobcat or a mountain lion, but it like ran past us and went into the water, and I thought that was cool. So basically open spaces are like big fields and like could be rivers and trees, and it's all just in one space, and it's just like nothing's developed there, so it's like not a park, it's just like an open space where they haven't basically developed any buildings, infrastructure for a park. It's just like nature. So it's really dope because like me and Elizabeth were discussing yesterday, you can go to these really nice ones, like I said, with the waterfall and trees and a trail, and it's not far out. You don't have to go up to the mountains. And I feel that's the misconception a lot of people have, where they think you have to drive super far to see like waterfalls and nice things, and we have them just in town. You know what I mean? Maybe like 30 minutes outside of Denver, 20 minutes depending where you live, and there's a lot of them. And like I said, it's not very known. Like I didn't know about it till Dr. Renee took me to one, and then I will call on Flores to talk about his experience with open spaces, or how he found out about them. Whatever you want to share, Isaiah.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, so I really love open spaces. The particular one that I visited the most in my life is like I think it's the Big Dry Creek or maybe it's the small dry creek. I can't remember. But I basically lived like within walking distance of that open space, and it was just something I really like. Looking back on it, it was really valuable, and probably helped me because it was just somewhere where I could like walk and like be in nature a little bit and be like away from the suburban sprawl. And when I was younger, I probably wasn't as good to the nature as I should have been, like, but it was definitely like a very valuable thing. So yeah, that's my experience. And then Sean.
It's all then right. So where I live, growing up, we used to have like tons of open space. Where the town center is, I mean the Target is like where I live, and the hospital that all used to be basically like prairie, where you gotta go. I mean where you gotta go. I mean catch grasshoppers. I mean things like that. We still have open space like the way the parks are set up like by my house, like we have like a main park and then we have like a sidewalk that is going through open space like to the next park. um but which I gotta say design wise is like really really nice. However, coyotes have become a much bigger problem, especially turns out if they can jump like 5 foot, but like if they can jump like tall fences and they can kill dogs pretty easily, including the big ones, and then they eat them. So yeah, that's my experience with open space growing up, and also it's cool.
Does anybody else want to go or share their experience about outdoor spaces? Well, we're going to move on to the next question then.
Okay, so for the next question, we just wanted to kind of ask you guys, and this can be answer by choice if you want, but it's, do you like going outside? What are yes or no? And then if so, what are your reasons for liking it? And if not, what are the reasons for not liking going outside, essentially? And yeah, I'll just, I guess if you want to raise your hand, or if anybody just wants to start, go for it.
Once I get outside, I love being there. Again, it's just a matter of like getting motivated to go and get outside. But even just like a city park is nice. But really, I think that we've done like several trips with campus recreation, and those are like the ones that really stick out in my mind recently. We did those cityscape walks or bike rides, and that is like, you don't usually think of urban spaces being outdoors, but I think when you get in that mindset and to go and enjoy it as an outdoor space, that it becomes a whole new ball game. So thank you. Popcorn Alexa.
So I really like being outside, especially like when like I have really bad anxiety sometimes, and so when I go outside and like either like touch the ground or like the grass or whatever, it's really grounding, just like being like, okay, like I'm present and it's okay, and like I feel better. And so I guess that's like my favorite part about like being outside and how it makes me feel and stuff. But I will popcorn to Orlando.
We're not popcorning, guys. There's other people who raise their hand.
Oh, well, Dr. Renee popcorn to me.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't see who's raising their hand.
So Alba, if you go to the participants, it has a little logo on the side. So Alba,
oh, okay.
Because I've seen you raise your hand first.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've really liked the outdoors even when I was like a little kid and I didn't really know like there was like outdoor spaces and stuff. Like I used to play that I was like an explorer out and about and seeing things like that. So I feel like it started from there. And then growing up, you know, my family would go to like picnics up in the mountains and like we would make it like a all day thing, you know, so like that I feel like that kind of solidified my love for the outdoors, you know, made it into like a family gathering and it was always really fun. And then just recently we started doing like yearly camping trips as a family as well, so that like even more. And I just feel like um a weekend just out in nature without like technology and like cars driving around and stuff like that, like it's such a great way to kind of like reset your natural clock. Like you'll wake up without an alarm like early as hell in the morning feeling refreshed, and it's like it's the best feeling ever. You come back and you're like, man, like that was awesome, and then like a week later that feeling goes away because you're back to reality. But it's like a really good like way to kind of reset yourself, and it's really great. So that's my take on that. um and then I see Sean with his hand up as well.
Right. So, so I like going outside, but like, mainly, mainly because like the air inside, is more stale, I guess, right? Um, it doesn't really like flow. Um, it is kind of like stagnant, right? And so, and so like so that might because so that might be because we don't have like the AC like going on, you know, like full blast like ever. But but um but I just like but I like the air, and yeah, that's and there were like several people like with their hands raised before and then they lowered them. Feel free to speak up.
Anybody else want to go before we move on to the next question?
I would just say one final thing, I guess, on here about just being outside in general. I always tell my student staff that you're a plant with complicated emotions. So, I mean, you need to get outside. You need to get some of the sun. I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was Alexa, but I can't remember. That said, you know, just going outside and feeling more grounded and whatnot. I mean, you go outside and you literally get fresh air that's kind of, you know, produced rather than being recycled in your apartment or your house. You get, you know, sunlight and things like that. So that's kind of why I like going outside, getting out there. It gives me like a little bit of a reset, refresh button from being inside, especially during a pandemic environment like this.
Thank you, Jordan. Okay, so I think since we're running a little bit, I don't know, our time is a little bit different than what we thought. I might kind of skip to combining two of the later questions. And I guess that'll be, have you had any unique or memorable outdoor experiences? And also, have you had any negative experiences that make you, you know, question going outside or make you not want to do it? So, you know, and I'd love to hear from, of course, love to hear from people having unique experiences, but I also want to hear from, or, you know, good memorable experiences, but I also want to get that discussion going a little bit about if you've had that bad experience, like, or if you've had, you know, for whatever reason you had something that made you not want to go outside, you know, feel free to share that and let's talk about that. So all right, I don't know, Eric, do you want to start and then you can pass it off to somebody else?
So I've had both negative and positive experiences being in the outdoors. I'm going to talk about my positive one. So like Dave mentioned earlier, we went on a backpacking, or I went on a backpacking trip with them when I was a sophomore. And that's something that was really positive for me because that really got me having love for the outdoors, I spent 5 days out at Rocky Mountain National Park backpacking, and I had been camping before with my family, but like it was like every year. But like spending those 5 days really made me connect with nature and really like want to like hike more. And like ever since then, I do hike a lot more, and I like to go out, and even if it's just like to an open space or the park, like I love being in the outdoors. And that experience for me really fueled that love, just because I was taught so much, like taught like when you're going on a hike, and if you don't have a map, like to remember landmarks. And for me, like I do that still. Like I don't really use maps. I'll be like, all right, I seen this tree by a big rock, and like for me, like I know some people say like it all looks the same, but like once you like learn like the different trees and like learning how to like mark certain stuff, like it's really helpful. And like I learned all that on that 5 day backpacking trip, and like I'm saying that really like fueled my love for the outdoors, and was a super positive experience for me. And especially doing it with one person I knew, and then like doing it with people I didn't know, and I felt like that was really cool, because I guess it forced everybody to like talk and like work together as a team, like not knowing each other for those 5 days. And which was really amazing to me, because I learned so much from everybody and learned so much about myself being out in the outdoors. And I will call on Isaiah.
Thank you. Yeah. So I guess I'll focus on like the somewhat more like scary aspects of it. So a little background. Basically, I worked with the Forest Service for like a 3-month period during one summer in Alaska, and there was a few times, and I was like kind of a team leader, I guess, on my projects. So I was kind of responsible for people, and I had a few different times where different members of my team. I had one person cut themselves like really bad with a knife, like way up on a mountain. And they had to be walked down basically early from our trip. And that was really scary, just because the moisture up there, and just having a untreated wound like that up there is just a really bad time. And then another one, I had someone actually fall, like they put their leg into what seemed like I don't even know if they tried to put it. Basically, they put their leg into a hole, and they like fell like whole leg down into a hole. And that was really scary. So we had to like kind of pull them out and dig them out. And it could have been bad. They didn't, they got a few bruises, but they didn't break their leg or anything like that. But it could have been just like so bad. And then the last one I'll share is basically one time I was driving with my friends on this like beach road, and we driving by, and we see like all these guys like basically loading like a dead bear like up into the back of this truck. And we were like, oh my God, what is going on over there? So we turned around, and it was a really small town, so we knew we could just turn around and go talk to him. So we turned around, we went and talked to him, and they were like, the guy told us like he was from me to you. He was about 6 feet away from me. Like I had to take his life. There was nothing I could do, sort of thing. And that was just a really like kind of scary experience. Not scary because we were there, but we just kind of like the gravity of like the situations with like these animals and being out in the wilderness. It really sinks in. And yeah, you got to be like just very careful. Stuff can get like just bad when you're out in the wilderness very quickly. And yeah, but there's also a lot of very, very positive experiences I've had as well.
Right. So my story is when I got lost, like in the woods. Right. So I was elk hunting about, I'd say like 5 years ago. So I went like with my dad, a family friend, her family friend's like son, who was about like 12, right? So what happened was like so where we were hiking, there is a lot of deadwood. Deadwood is usually made like when there are forest fires, and and a whole lot of trees die at like one time, but they all like fall and stuff. but they don't decompose yet, which means there's a whole bunch of like climbing and stuff. And then there was also about like 3 feet of snow, right? So, so we were hunting, like got lost, like, and then we were about like 4 or 5, man, when like we figured out where we were like 4 to 5 hours out from where we parked the car, which means we had to go like steep uphill over and under a deadwood, I'm in these like very, very heavy packs while watching them out like for bears, and stuff. And long story short, like though that was a very negative experience at the time, like now it's mostly like a fun story to tell and to be like, yeah, like that was awful. Like, here's what you don't do. You don't get lost. So yeah, Orlando has his hand raised. So.
Yep. And so basically for me, since we're, running on the theme of scary stories, I'll tell 2 stories, one with an animal and then one with, humans, of course. When I lived in Jersey, when I was younger, like I said, I lived in like a forest area. So, I'd take the back way, the forest way, which was like a little mini hiking trail. And then you would, it was on like a farmer's land. So he turned it kind of into like a hiking trail / like, I think the backyard was a junkyard. So I'd walk there, and I was walking to his house, and on said trail, I came in contact with a bear. And luckily I was able to, end up in a warehouse. There's like an old milk warehouse facility plant or something like that. And, I had to hide in there for a couple hours and like tell my friend to scare the bear away. It was a younger, how he did it is he did it with a motor. He has like little dirt bikes. So he just kind of revved it and it ran into the woods, and I was able to run to his house. But that's one story. And then the second story, recently when we went on our little trip to New Mexico, Eric, Isaiah, and I, and we were at Bandelier, and we experienced, some conflicts with humans, of course, because, us as humans, we're very impatient creatures. So we were all, on one of the structures, and like, just taking pictures and just really enjoying it. And one of the guys came over and was like, "What are you doing? Like, are you just sitting here?" And like got all mad with Isaiah and Eric, and it caused a lot of problems. Long story short, we walked away and we were the bigger person, but it caused a lot of problems because like the person was so adamant with being nasty. And yeah, those are my 2 stories. And I'll popcorn it to. Did someone just raise a hand? Lower it.
Yeah, I did.
That's you.
So I have a couple of fun stories to end with, I guess. Speaking of putting your leg in a hole, mine wasn't putting my leg in a hole, but I lived in Burbank, California, and they have some hills there that we went hiking on, and coming back down this trail, I just wasn't paying attention, and one leg kind of slid off the edge. So definitely got scratched by all the brush that's growing there, or that used to. I haven't even been back to that area, so I don't know if they've had fires, but it was a fun hike. And my friend behind me just saw me kind of do a slide, and he, said safe. So you definitely have to, wear the right footwear for hiking, and be careful running down hillsides. The other funny story is I hiked Manitou Springs here in Colorado, the incline, and I had knee braces pushed down to my ankles so that when we come down the trail that I would be able to wear my knee braces. Everybody thought that they were ankle weights, which really worked to my advantage because I was huffing and puffing. I was out of shape. It took me forever to get up the incline. And lastly, if I can share my screen, I just wanted to show you that I got to, a few weeks after the incline, we got to hike Mount Bierstadt, a 14,000 foot mountain. So here's my friend and I. This was, gosh, I don't know, around 7 years ago. So beautiful day. It did have some weather when we were coming down. So you have to really plan to be up there early and then get down safely. So that's all. Thank you.
That was a really beautiful picture. And
Thanks.
thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you very much it's good to see people's experiences. Oh no, I'm sorry, I apologize. I have lost, there we go. I thought I lost my Google document, but we're okay. Okay, so I guess we're right at 12. So I don't know if you guys have other obligations. If you do, feel free to go tend to your other obligations. If you want to stick around, I think our last little question we were going to have for this is just, giving people the opportunity to talk about things that they find to be accessibility issues at state parks or open space parks or national parks. We were going to do everybody, but I think maybe we'll just do having people volunteer since we are kind of out of time technically, if that sounds good to you, Eric.
Yes, it sounds good to me. Does anybody want to go? It'd be cool to hear from new voices if we can.
Yeah, maybe if you're the type who doesn't get out to the outdoors, maybe, I don't know, tell us why. Tell us what your opinion is.
I think that for my own children, my biological children, that one of the things with accessibility seems to be that with everything that there is to do living in the city, that oftentimes the outdoors sort of gets overlooked. And then most of our primos are, like into a lot of city things like movies and games and indoor activities. And that also it just seems that the expense of doing things that, or even snowboarding is like a big expense, or skiing. And so that's one of the things I think that just coming from a large Latino, Chicano family is that, not everybody has the ability to have the money that it takes to do the things that seem like they're like the Colorado experience. And that's all I have to say.
Yeah, thank you. I think a lot of people would probably echo that sentiment about it. Some of this stuff is quite expensive, so it's not, necessarily attainable, and it's not reasonable to assume that everybody can just afford this stuff. I would definitely agree with that. Anybody else have something?
I would agree with that. Just basically the same thing. Like, my family does enjoy the outdoors, but it takes a while for us to plan that because of that. Like, since we go in a group, we kind of like split the bill, kind of, like with either what we're gonna take up there, to like enter the parks and stuff like that. Like, we plan accordingly, and it takes a while. Like, oh, how's everybody financially? Can we do this? And like, so it is something we have to plan ahead a lot. So it's not just something that, oh, hey, today you guys want to do this? Let's go. Like, no, like it takes a really long time for us to like, all right, save up and plan everything accordingly. So yeah, the price is kind of yeah. that's all I have to say about that.
Would anybody else like to go as we wrap this up?
I've been with a quick word. I'd echo what Dr. Fajardo said about the expense, but then to tail in on that a little bit, because the culture around participating in the outdoors really makes that more difficult, because we can get out without all that gear. I prove it every day because I go out without all that gear, and there's some elements to, a need for gear for specific activities, et cetera, but we can all get started incrementally. If we overcome that notion that we're sometimes on trail conflict that can come from the fact that someone judges us as not well enough prepared to be outside, and sharing that space with them because we haven't spent enough money on the gear. That's where that kind of barrier really starts to impact us, I think. And so that's a thought on that. Here's somewhat of a solution for some of us anyway, is the Outdoor Pursuits program is here to loan gear out. So if you have a challenge with the gear, get in touch with us, and we can provide that stuff, and oftentimes at no cost, and all the time at no cost if that's what's needed. And so that's a thought on that. The gear and the expense is definitely a barrier.
Well, thank you so much, Outdoor Pursuits, for having this session with us. I know our other guest is here, but I did want to ask maybe each of the students that is here, as far as how much or what the limitations are for going outdoors, is just like what your family's experience has been like. I know that statistically speaking, that our particular population doesn't go to the parks as much as other populations. And speaking about, as Latinx community, and other communities that we sort of represent at Journey. So I'm just curious, is Tala still here? Tala,
yeah,
how have you as your family experienced any like limitations of why or how you go outdoors?
Where, in here?
Yeah, in just like in recreationally speaking, like
we actually love going outside, and we didn't like experience any limitation, because even when I was in Sudan, we had a lot of like recreation and like nature life.
And so, and what about I'm sorry, what about you, Jackie? Does your family ever experience any things that are that have limited them or like prevented them in a way from ever going out? I'm just curious.
Like going out to like the parks and stuff?
Yeah, or going hiking or camping.
I don't think so. I mean, we mostly just like travel by car everywhere. We don't really like to travel by like plane. So I guess like location wise, we can only travel where we can go in like a car.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of times we have the tendency sometimes to go, oh, unless we're on vacation, it's like, it's really like Outdoor Pursuits has opened up to our team our ability to really think about ways that we can engage with the outdoors. So again, I just thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Dr. Renee. Thank you guys for having us. And thanks everybody for coming.
Yeah.
Just one last wrap up, because I was gonna ask it, but we kind of got sidetracked there. If you could email me just what we could improve, or email Liz if you don't have my contact information, because I know some of you are from Outdoor Pursuits, just about what you liked about this event and what we could improve. I know like we didn't ask all our questions, but I would just like to know what you guys thought of it, and like again what we could improve, if we could like expand the time or anything that you could think of that needs improvement or anything that we did really well would be awesome as well. So thank you guys for coming. And for junior students, can we just give a round of applause for my other co-host, Liz?
Yay!
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really love partnering with Outdoor Pursuits, so thank you.
Thank you guys so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Brian and Liz and everybody that was here. And Dave. Hi, Dave. And we'll look forward to being with you guys on campus again.
Soon. Very soon.
Yeah, thank you. And then Journey Team, you're staying in here in this meeting here because we have our 12 o'clock guest. So thank you so much, Outdoor Pursuits.
All right. Thank you, Liza, and thank you, Eric. Thanks everyone else too. And
of course, thank you for letting me do this with Liz. It was really cool.
Let's do more. Let's follow up.
For sure.
Yeah,
all right. Thank
great.
you.
Thank you so much. Let's do stuff in the summer. Okay.
All right. Thank you guys.